Merry Christmas!
Hi, this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
This is your host, Chris.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know, I'm sorry, but he's cheap and available.
How rude!
Yes, guys, welcome back. Episode 6 live tonight, right here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Yes, it is the Leicester Rebuild series. And after yesterday's performance in real life, my word, boy, does this football team need a rebuild. We were onto something when we started this series, weren't we, guys? But anyway, get your highs and hellos in the chat. Don't forget to hit the like and hype button, as we say as well, guys, and welcome along. So let's catch you up to speed with where we have been so far. So we're currently on a 15-game unbeaten run since we've taken over Leicester in League Two with the Academy. The last episode, we actually went unbeaten again. The York game from the last time out in the FA Cup first round, we did lose 2-1. So the FA Cup is over for us in the first round, sadly. But the last episode, we went back and beat Oldham 4-1 at home. MK Dons 2-1 at home. Swindon 4-2 in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy Southern section, which is a bit of a mouthful, as we know. And we've got round 2 tonight against Stevenage, which is going to be interesting because, of course, we're now in with all the League One teams. So perhaps we're going to start taking it a little bit more seriously as well. Harrogate, we got a 1-1 draw. I rotated a little bit for this one. Curse of it, but we still got the 15-game unbeaten run, and we ended off last time with an away win at Grimsby with the 1-0, so we'll take that. Anyway, guys, get your hellos in the chat. We got an evening in already there from Stuart John. Thank you very much. He was in very early tonight. But yeah, get your highs in. We keep this quite informal tonight as well. You want to talk anything else about football or Leicester, get it in the chat there and we'll have a good talk about it. So, right, what have we got on tap for you tonight? So, we're into December, the 2nd of December, guys. So, we are now, like I say, on this 15-game unbeaten run. We're doing pretty well for ourselves and we're getting into the real thick of this league now. So, we've got coming up tonight a few games against Crewe. This big one against Stevenage, because all of a sudden we're now against the League One teams, like I said, and I wouldn't quite mind trying to win this trophy because it's one Leicester have never won before. I know it's something we didn't take serious in the first round, but we got through it with a breeze, didn't we? So why don't we see how we can get on with this one and see if we can maybe get some more silverware this year? Bear in mind, we're out of both the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup as well. Makes something more important. We've also got Chesterfield and we've got Shrewsbury, and we'll probably get to Barrow tonight. We'll see how the time goes. We like to keep it around an hour, you see. In other news, because we're a month away from January, it's time just to start looking at the squad, right? And I've made a decision. I've already put a bid in for a free transfer player who will be a mystery, except I'll tell you he's for goalkeeping position, right? We know we got Hubert Grazik, right? He is going to be our number one goalkeeper here. And as you can see, he's got great one-on-ones. He's great aerial reach. I always talk about these things I'm looking for in a sweeper keeper. He is on a youth contract, which means he's quite cheap as well, which means he's very affordable for what he is. But he is our number one. Backup goalkeepers where we've had a few challenges because we've got Stevie Bowser, who's obviously from the academy. If I go to his attributes here, he is not as good, unfortunately. He's not really progressing. He's not fitting the role I want. So I think for Stevie, and also if we go here to the under-21s, for Harry French, the same goes again. I think he's not really getting up to speed with what I want him to do. He's got good determination, but the rest of it isn't really improving. So bear in mind, we're getting to 18, 19 sort of age. I wanted to solidify that backup goalkeeping position. So I have bid for a backup goalkeeper on a free transfer who will hopefully be joining us very soon in this episode. So stay tuned for that one, guys, right? So we'll get to the first game tonight. Our first game is against Crewe. I'll quickly take you through the league table just before we get to this, right? So the current league table, here you go. We're on great form. We've only lost the one game to Bristol Rovers, which was the third game of the season. Outside of that, we've won 13 and drawn 4 to put us top of the league with 2 games in hand over MK Dons in third place and a 3-point gap as well. So that's pretty good times. We're going to be playing one of those games that we got in hand right now against Crewe, like I said, and I've picked the team for that and I've rotated it a bit because I'll quickly go back to the calendar one more time here. We have got this Stevenage game midweek, which I want to go a bit more full strength for, right? Because I wouldn't mind to see how well we could do against League One teams. Because don't forget, my remit is I've got to get us promoted from League Two to the League One this season, and I've got to get us in the League One playoffs next season. So bearing in mind we got kicked out to League Two, the football club is putting on a strong derivative to me of we have to get ourselves up the league. Evening to you as well, Nate. Hope you're doing well, bud. Hope you're recovering after yesterday, mate. What a horror show that was, wasn't it? Right, let's get to this Crewe game for the first one. So they're going to go here today and they've basically gone for the 4-2-3-1, basically, haven't they? Except they've inverted with they've got the defensive midfielder in there. Our team selection today is going to be a little bit different, as you can see on screen here. We've got Grazik in goal, Barra, Vermouth, Amati, Lindsay. So I've rotated and dropped players like Ali. I've dropped Suter. I've also dropped in midfield Braybrook because he's not looking very fit. We've got Cover coming in to have a go as the ball-winning midfielder today. And this is going to be one of those last opportunities this month now for players like Brandon Cover to see if they're going to continue on with us in this academy rebuild. Because by the end of this, of course, it will be interesting to see how many academy players we have got left in this team. Page is going to play, so we're a bit limited in box-to-box midfield today, but he'll probably come off on Onieni, who's also been developing quite well in the under-21s. We've got Popov on the left today, Knockout in the attacking mid-centre, because I've moved him across into there to try and fit his attributes as well. And we've got Silko Thomas coming in on the right, who's almost not had as many minutes as he is in real life, so that's interesting. So we'll see how it goes with Silko. And up top, we are going to go with Salech because we are a bit limited up top. King's not really done it. Hutchinson's not really done it so far. And we've obviously moved on a couple of the lads as well. So rotated team for this. Crewe are 22nd, to be fair. So hopefully we should still be able to get 3 points here in spite of us rotating the team. But you know, things can happen. And we've found so far when I've rotated the team, there's not as much depth as we would like. So anyway, we're going to get to this now. We're resting all of Monga, Wanya, Alves. They're all rested for the Stevenage game we got coming up, right? So we'll tell the boys we want a good run. Let's give them a little bit of the George Michael to start tonight's episode out. And let's get to it here. I've got to change it back off the 2D in a minute because we keep having graphical glitches. So I got the screen a little bit smaller, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll be able to kick them out of the way a bit more tonight. But there we go. Anyway, guys, yeah, get your thoughts in the comments as well. Don't forget. So talk to me about your Football Manager games, your thoughts on Leicester, about football, all of that jazz. And then we can also have a good chat about it as well. But we'll get to the kickoff here now. And I'm just going to change it back from the 2D, which I forgot I had it on. Right, and here we go. We're underway. Crewe away. We haven't lost since the third game of the season, guys, so no pressure, but we have been doing remarkably well so far. So hopefully we can go on now and just maybe stay unbeaten the rest of the season. I don't know. It definitely it's become very apparent to me with this team that Monga is superb. Alves is really good. Braybrook's really good. I mean, do you see Braybrook's goal at the weekend for Newport? I mean, they got hammered, didn't they? But he scored a Fatu goal, would you believe it? It's almost like he said, anything you could do, Abdul, I could do better. And as I say, that Crewe have taken the lead. The rotation, guys, has punched us straight in the kidneys there. 1-0 to Crewe after a minute. And hello, the depth might be a problem for us, which means then in January, obviously, when we get to that episode a bit further down the line, we're going to have a lot of business potentially to look at as well. I'm going to lean more on the academy players, obviously, with this. I want to see the academy players and what we can build them into. I just think, you know, that's going to be where the interesting thing about this whole series is, and to see who is going to be the man for us. So far, Monga is top goal scorer this season with 11 goals. So he is off to a flying start. And then we got Salech, who we got on loan from Cardiff. As you can see, he's got 10 goals, but he's going to cost us some money if we want to make him permanent. He might be a couple of £1 million. So I am also scouting for a new striking alternative for that. Oh my word, the graphical glitch is back, guys. My apologies. Looks like we're running on 2D Classic tonight, guys. I can't really fix that graphical problem. It's a bit of a nuisance. But anyway, we're going to go back to 2D. Amarty's going to play it down to Page here. I'll flick it back across to the other one later. We worked out how to get it working again. Amarty's going to hold the ball up here. It's very slow and ponderous, this. I'm going to quickly speed it up a little bit. There we go. And there was a shot from Knockout and it's gone over the top of the crossbar. This is like the old days of Championship Manager, you know, the first like incarnations of the Football Manager series. It was all 2D little dots, right? And I still love the 2D little dots. I think it's the coolest way somehow to watch this, to watch the game a lot, you know. Let's see if we've got any graphical problems. Oh yeah, we still do. You can see it in the background there. So we'll switch it to 2D. A lot of this is to do with trying to fit the screen in for you guys so you can see it, basically, because if I have it full screen, it's too small for you to see, so I have to squish it, and I think when I squish it, it throws the graphics off a little bit, unfortunately. But there we go. Pretty empty first half here as we're going to get towards the halftime break. Crew still have this 1-0 lead. Shiloh Tracy coming down the left-hand side there. Lindsay's going to mark him off. Unfortunately, he's back in there, and he's put it past Grazik, and it looks like, guys, we might be ending our 15-game unbeaten run in the first game of the night. Oh, my word, and look at this. I think we have to turn replays off because, as you can see, there's a big graphical horribleness going on there. But the ball goes under Grazik into the bottom corner, and unfortunately, that is 2-0 to Crew. Was he offside? Now, just have a look at this. There's no VAR in this league. Just onside. Played on by Vermouth, I believe, unfortunately for us. And yeah, that has gone in. So, half-time, Crew 2, Leicester City 0. Not very good, but I have rotated the team. So I think we've got to have a go at them here, guys. Fresh arms, you're letting yourselves down. This isn't good enough. I'm not happy with your playmaking efforts. You've not been good enough in front of goal, and your defensive work's been unacceptable. Let's give them the whole cannon there and see what we can do second half. No changes. Let's do a Marty Cifuentes. No changes at halftime when we're losing. See if we can boost them up in other ways anyway. But anyway, guys, don't forget to hit the like and the hype button. They're the big two right now on YouTube, right? We'd really appreciate it. And thank you for all your support with all the streams recently. It's been going pretty good. As we get to the hour mark here, and there's nothing going on with this team in this game. It's almost like when you go away from the game for a week and then come back to it, you lose all that momentum, don't you? Right, I'm going to make change. I'm going to get Salic off for Jake Evans here because Salic hasn't done much this game. We need to rest him a little bit. Louis Page can come off on Yenny here as well. Just trying to think of who we can freshen things up with a little bit. Silko Thomas hasn't done very much, has he? So I'm going to put Knockout on the right, and we're going to get Logan Briggs, who's normally pretty good into attacking mid-centre. Although we've had a falling out because he wants a new contract. And I said, you're not having a new contract because you've been paid enough, and he's still got a year left on his deal. So why would I give him a new contract this early, right? So he might come back to him moan again. Going to be a corner now to Leicester. Can we pull one back in? Knockout plays it in towards the near post. Cleared out, and Briggs is going to let off to Knockout again. Knockout comes in, and Booth makes a really good save there. Up close and personal. Does the job and tips it past the far post. Corners coming from the opposite side now. Everyone's bunching at that near post, trying to get the flick on. But Briggs is going to pick it up in. We've still got possession, and unfortunately, that's the end of that opportunity for us, which is very disappointing. Right, we're going to go back to the 3D and see if it can hold up now. It's got itself all sorted out. Give them a shout here. I've got to demand some more. We just look very lackluster today. It's amazing. Like I said, the first team connectivity with the first group of them seems to be at that place now where they look very good and they're very much dominant in possession and their chances. But as you can see here, we had 14 chances on goal, 4 on target. They've had 5 with 3. Grazik's had a bad game on a 6.2, unfortunately for us, which really makes me think I've gone for the right decision going for this other goalkeeper. And unfortunately, guys, it will be a loss to start tonight. Crew 2, Leicester 0. And I'm not happy because we should have won that match according to the numbers, which is a nice way of putting it, because you could be a lot worse with them, can't you? But in good news, we're still top of the league. We just lost that 1 game advantage, which means we're only 4 points ahead of Colchester in 4th. But we still got another game in hand to MK Dons and Colchester. So as long as we can get back to winning ways, it's not going to be a disaster. And I do want to see how we get on against Stevenage going for a stronger team. I could have, done the opposite, but what can we do? Anyway, I'm facing an inquest after a surprising loss to Crew. This is interesting because obviously you have your club support behind the scenes. So our first loss after 15 games undefeated. And hey, look, if we go 15 undefeated after this, it's not going to matter in the world, right? But interesting enough, let's go to the club confidence a minute here and just see. See, I'm currently getting a B as my board feedback, so I'm not doing terribly. My highlights are they're pleased with the positive atmosphere in the changing room. They're pleased with the quality of pressing on display with the gegenpress as well, which is what they wanted. And the board are pleased the team's on course to win League Two. Well, hopefully. I mean, don't forget, we never won League Two. We'd then have the full set of, the trophies in England with this one, wouldn't we? But the noticeable criticisms are very disappointed about the 2-0 defeat against Crewe. Understandable. Very disappointed to lose to York and very disappointed to draw Harrogate. We are expected to win pretty much every game, aren't we? Because we are Man City if Man City got kicked out of the Premier League and thrown down all the divisions, right? So we've got to keep that in mind. The pressure is very much on. And of course, guys, if I get fired at any point, that will be the end of the live stream. So I've really got pressure on me here to make sure I do get us promoted from League Two at the minimum, or I need to get us to, into League One as quick as possible. Oh, we got another one in. We need to speak, Mr. Manager. I think we do, Chris. I've just lost to Crewe. I think you're very right. Results need to improve 100%. I'm on a B. It's fine. A B is okay. I will take that. We've only got 2 defeats so far. If I quickly take you back to the league table, come on. So look, played 19, won 13 of those, drawn 4 of them, and lost 2. We've only conceded 17 goals all season, which is the lowest in the league. We scored 39, which is one off the most in the league, just after Chesterfield. I'm not too worried here. And I'm really interested to see how we're going to get on against Stevenage, because, of course, Stevenage are a League One team. And I've always wanted to say, I wanted us to get further in the FA Cup, because I felt if we got further in the FA Cup, we could have played a championship team with these Leicester boys and just seen how capable they were of playing against bigger opposition, right? So I'm going to be intrigued to see now we come up against a fully fledged League One team, just how good our base team actually is. And I'd quite like to win the Paint Trophy. I mean, there's day out of Wembley, isn't it? Expectations, a lot of expectations. You're right there, Chris, 100%. We put the pressure on ourselves, right? Unlike Marty, I'm not going to lose my cool here. I'm just going to get back to it. So, right, let's pick our team for this one. I mean, Grazic had a terrible game last time out, so I'm going to have a quick word with him here. Interactions speak, one player, criticised last game. Your goalkeeping was not good enough. You underperformed. And I'm not happy with how I've played. I need to improve. Thank you, Boss C, with training. Bit of honesty. Joker is like, you messed me off the stream, mate. Yeah, of course I can, buddy. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I will do that, Chris. Not a problem. Oh, yeah, I forgot to message you earlier, mate. Yeah, my apologies. Right, let's get picking this team now. Aluko is going to be able to play here, so he's somewhere short of fitness. We'll get Aluko back in at right back for this one. And it's going to be Suter and Musonda, our starting back two now. Vermouth slightly slipped away with Suter's return. And then left back is going to be Mursad Ali. Some people have been calling for him to come into the first team this week after Luke Thomas's performance. So that is interesting. So maybe we'll see that in real life in a minute. But I really like Mursad Ali. He's my favourite player in this team right now. 17 years old, and he's just so good, especially his physical side. BBL, yeah. Whatever Chris says, guys, whatever Chris says. Braybrook's going to be in as the ball-winning midfielder here. Louis Page as the box-to-box. We're going to go full strength, like I said here. Monga on the right. We got Alves in the centre. Marçal on the left. Up top, Salech. Although Salech has been dropping off recently, but he has still got 10 goals and 15, which is what you want for your striker. Are you listening, Patson Daka? Are you listening, any other striker? Carranza. Pull them out of the Leicester City wardrobe right now. 15 goals or whatever, 10 goals. It's a lot better than 1 or 2, lads, just saying. But right, bench, Bowser, Cartwright, Lindsay, Onayeni. I think Brandon Cover here is on the chopping block for January, and maybe with Silko as well, controversially. Knockout, Popov, and Drake Evans on the bench. And we'll get to it here. Right, here comes a real test, guys, against what is going to be a very, very good team in Stevenage in comparison to us. And who'd have thought we'd say that? They got Phoenix Patterson, who is a player that I have a lot of love for in Football Manager. He's taken my Gillingham team to the Premier League before, so a lot of love for him. And, of course, a good goalkeeper in Ashbury Hammond as well. Pretty decent team. Apparently, we're the favourites, we're at home. So I'm going to say I want to see a marked improvement from you all tonight here. I have faith in you. Go out there. Get them all riled up. Because they're younger, I don't like going too hard on them with, the kicking off. Let's put it that way. Right, we're at home. if we get through this, I'm pretty sure we're into like the quarterfinals of this, and we won't be too far away from a trip to Wembley. We can still technically do the double this year. We can win League Two and we can win this competition. So let's see how we get on, guys. Cheers. Let's hope the 3D graphics hold up this time. Normally it takes a little bit to warm up. Right, Aluko's going to take the first ball in here. Throws it into Monga, up to Braybrook. Braybrook comes back and passes it up to Page. Page from distance, and it's a good effort. Unfortunately, it's just gone wide there. But good stuff there from Louis Page. Already after 5 minutes, playing the first team I normally would play is looking a lot more better for us, especially with them getting used to each other. First opportunity to Leicester. And they are 4-4-2, Stevenage, which is an interesting matchup against the 4-2-3-1. Interesting how that plays out. QPR played 4-4-2 against us yesterday, pretty much. So, not saying there can be gaps in a 4-2-3-1, but there possibly can be, you know, if you're playing against a 4-4-2. Once again, the minutes are flying by here. 25 minutes gone. The ball's going to be played in here by Stevenage, but it's going to come back into a battle in the middle here, and Monga's going to find Suter. Aluko up to Alves. Nice one-touch passing football here. Alves is the linchpin at the top of this, really bringing the boys forward with him now. Masonda down to Ali. We're a little bit cautious here. It is very much Enzo ball what I'm doing, isn't it? But we are better with the ball in possession and we are just trying to win things. Alves there with a great goal. His 7th of the season, guys. Will Alves with that long-range strike to put it in the top corner. And we'll take that one every day of the week, won't we, guys? Top corner, Leicester 1, Stevenage 0. Marcel now with a free kick that is tipped over the crossbar by Ashby Hammond. And it's all Leicester here against Stevenage, which is encouraging. So that proves to me, so far, our first 11 is looking like a good base for a League One team. Monga, again, doing some great work to get himself down the byline there. And Monga really, as our top goal scorer from the right-hand side, has been fantastic, hasn't he? Unbelievable. What a player he is in real life as well. We've been dominant in this one. They've not had a chance at goal yet, but here comes Camera. Lucky there's a block on it. It comes through a crowd and it is in for 1-1. And you've got to argue the higher you go up the leads, the less chances these teams need to score a goal. So we've had double the amount of chances as Stevenage in this one. 10 shots, 5 on target. 4 for Stevenage, 1 on target. It is 1-1 here. Will Alves, Salech and Harry Suter having good games. Apart from that, pretty much an average day of it. But if you look at the XG, we are dominant here in the XG. Look, we just got to be converting these chances. Just makes me think we do need to look at another striker in January as well. Right, I'm going to say I don't like what I saw from this team. We need to see more. Keep going. You've got the ability to make the difference. Let's go for the encouragement route here, guys, eh? Start the second half. No changes. 3 changes for Stevenage at half-time. That's interesting, isn't it? Monga's going to play a long ball forward here, and Ashby Hammond's going to pick it up, and the chance is probably going to go to nothing here. Although it'd be really disappointing if Stevenage got us on the long ball counter-attack, wouldn't it? But we're going to try and build out from the back now. Ali, great ball forward to Salech. Salech with a great goal, 11th for the season. And every time he scores a goal like that, every time I'm thinking about reaching into my wallet and paying maybe £1 million for him. Can I pay £1 million for a player in League Two? I guess we'd be the first one. It's going to happen everywhere in a minute, isn't it? Another chance now for Leicester. Musonda coming out here with Braybrook. Unfortunately, it was a loose pass by Page, but Aluko's done well to win that second ball. I've said about this with the real team. If you're going to give the ball up because your passing not good enough, just make sure you've got the guts to go win it back. And this team's got the hallmarks of that. Or Ali down to Marcel here, who just lets the ball do the work. Great one-touch. Page down now to Braybrook. Salech is in again. I think he was offside there. The referee's having a look and has been ruled out. But we are 2-1 still. Encouraging stuff. I'd like to get the third here, guys. We are dominating the stats again. But that one goal, the one thing this team is bad at is holding on to a 1-goal lead. That's normally where we draw games. It's happened quite a lot. Going to be an opportunity now. Time for a change in a minute. Braybrook down to Suter. And we still got to manage these legs. There's still players like Braybrook and Alves who are literally 1 or 2 bad games away and a bit too much overplaying from being in major injury trouble. Braybrook's giving the ball away there to Camero. He's the dangerous man up front for Stevenage. He's doing all the running and it's a good save from Grazic there. Makes up from the last game where you had utter howler of a performance. We're about to get to 70 minutes here. I've let these players' legs go in this one. Misonda up to Braybrook. Going to be some changes coming. Monga down the right now. Get the third, boys. Into Salic, and there it is. Come on, Leicester. Leicester 3, Stevenage 1. And perhaps we have got this League One foundation in this team already, which is an encouraging thing. Right, let's make some changes here, guys, because I can now consider resting some guys. Braybrook's looking a little bit like he's in difficulty, so we'll get Oniyeni on, who has developed really nicely for us. Aluko is also struggling with his fitness, so I'm going to have to improvise and put Cartwright out there, which is not good because he's not a right back, but he can play defence, so we'll have to make do. And the third change, I think I'm going to once again look at Alves perhaps, and Louis Page as well. Look, the other point is I haven't got another central midfielder I can chuck in here. So I think Louis Page might have to rest the next game, but we'll get Anthony Knockaert on here in the middle as well. Maybe me playing Knockaert slightly out of position isn't going to help the situation either. But I just think as his legs go, he's got the technical ability to play in the hole pretty nicely here. So he's going to latch up now with a corner. Marcel up to Monga. Oniyeni here up the flank, Cartwright linking up well, back to Ali. As you can see, we're trying to build the pressure onto us here and then trying to play through teams. And Monga's gone from a worldie there. He's turned and hit it. He's got shades of Fatawu there with the confidence he's got at his feet. And unfortunately went over the top of the crossbar. But looks like, guys, we enter the final 10 minutes here. We're going to be through in the Bristol Street Motors Rovers Trophy, is what I call it, the Bristol Rovers Competition Trophy. Used to be called the Johnston's Paint Trophy, didn't it? We're going to be through, and we might have an opportunity at going to Wembley. And if I like to go to Wembley, it would only be in this competition, not through the playoffs. We want to be nowhere near the playoffs. We want to be well inside the automatics. Nice 3-1 win at home. Nice work, everyone. And that first 11 for us is looking like the unit to get the job done. Excellent stuff. So, great victory there. So we're through the southern section third round. So to the third round, sorry. So yeah, so we'll go on to another round now. We're going to get drawn against one of these teams before we get to, I believe then, yeah, after that it will go up into the quarters and the semi-finals and all the rest of it. So then we'll be in the right interesting part of it. We've also received £400,000 from Newcastle as a present for Harvey Barnes because he's now played 15 league games for Newcastle. So thank you very much. That means our transfer budget increases. We've actually got a transfer budget of 7.6 million now, 7.06, because of course I've been selling loads of players, right? Selling loads of players, and this might give you an indication as to who might be coming in a minute. Little spoiler for you there. Just waiting for him to sign on the dotted line before we can get the confetti out on who the new player is. Got a training update from John Rudkin. You know, Mr. Rudkin is still with us, guys, at the football club, and he is running behind the scenes, hiring new coaches by my back every 5 minutes. Jeremy Monga, he's been watching as well through his binoculars from Seagrave. And he's been showing remarkable improvements over the last few months. He's ready for more first-team football. I don't know how I can give him more first-team football. He's the first name on the team sheet, but I will continue that. And apparently he's a good player for most League One sides, and he can improve a lot in the future. So excellent. So Jerry Monga is very much becoming, after regular football, the top man for us. Right, in the third round, just after January, we have got Luton Town, who, of course, just got relegated from the Championship into League One. So when it comes to League Two versus League One, that is the biggest match we could have drawn in the Paint Trophy. So that's going to be exciting, isn't it? And up next, guys, we have got a top-of-the-table clash because our next game is against Chesterfield, who are 3 points behind. Let me quickly just get this up here. Yeah, so they've literally got an identical record. They've literally got an identical record to us as well, guys. They've played 19. They've won one less game. They've lost one more game than us. They've drawn the same. They've scored 40 goals. We scored 39. They've conceded 17. We've conceded 17. So we literally couldn't be too much different at all, which is remarkable. So we're going to be taking on the second place Chesterfield at home. So that is going to be a fascinating one next. We've got a work permit denial for our new goalkeeper, but I'm going to appeal it. We should get it because we've got some some places that he can fill out, so that shouldn't be a problem. Will Alves has also been showing remarkable improvements. Apparently he's a good player for championship teams, so that's encouraging. The only problem with Will Alves is the rest of the Premier League's worked out about him, because look at the active interest we got for Will Alves come January. Crystal Palace, Everton, Fulham, Leeds, Wolves, rumoured interest from Bournemouth, Villa, Brighton and Forest. So we have got a few players that have got a bit of interest, and he is one of them. And Will Alves is the guy we really don't want to lose at the moment, because as you can see from his stats here, he's doing really well and he's improving really nicely. His physical stats are getting a lot better as well, which is interesting. So Will Alves is definitely being the man for us. But let's get ourselves forward here. We've got a fractured upper arm for Jake Evans now. He's going to be out for 5 weeks, which is a shame. So that opens up a place on the bench for Joshua King next time out. He joins a Poku, who's also got an injury. So that's 2 of our strikers now unavailable, which means we might be able to recall Hutchinson from the under-23s and get him involved as well. So we'll see on that one. Salford have hired Miles Jednak as their new manager, the Australian ex-Crystal Palace midfielder, which is interesting. And in training this week, the only lazy person has been Harry Suter. So let's have a quick word with him. I think you've been training well recently. That's my fault. I'm glad you understand, Harry. I'm glad we have this moment together. Thank you very much. Hopefully that means you'll be back with it. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and hype the video and share it all around. This is a good little fun hangout stream. We get to go through this, and we're trying to see how far we can get before Tom gets the sack, which every episode there is the chance of it because the pressure is on, like we say. Right, let's have a look at the team for today then. It's mostly we want it to be mostly the same as last time. How is the fitness looking though? It looks okay, but risk of injury low. I'm just going to hover over the hearts here and see. Risk of injury high for Page. So Page might be a change we need to make. Monga, risk of injury high. Same with Marcel probably, yeah. Okay, yeah, so we have got a bit of problem with match load here. However, I haven't really got a lot of other options I can do because I need to play my strongest team for this. I'm going to have to gamble here, guys, and hope I don't injure some players. I think that will be the problem, but I think I'm going to have to go with this team here. I'm not convinced about playing Louis Page, but I don't think Oniyeni is actually anywhere near as good as he is. I mean, his pace and acceleration are all right, and actually his passing's okay. It's passable. But he hasn't played much football, so I think I'm going to leave things as they are. Having Michael Golding out for another 4 days is frustrating because Michael Golding would be the guy we would chuck straight in there, right? Just to be a like-for-like replacement. But as we get further into the season, there are going to be more injuries. I'm going to need to have a right-back on the bench, aren't I? Because we've got problems with Aluko as well. So I'm going to swap that around, and I think we'll go for this, guys. Right, so I'm not going to make any changes. If we lose Monga and Alves to injuries, I'm going to be cooked. There's no 2 ways about it. I'm going to have to spend in January to get around it, right? But luckily, we're into December, so we've got some time here. If you carry your last performance into this match, you'll do well, guys. Once again, I'm not telling them I demand them to win because they're young, and as soon as you do that, their performance drops. And here we go. Chesterfield. Looks like it's going to be us and them for a battle for League One. Who is going to get the first result of the season? Equal records going into this. They got quality players like Carl Mufazin at centre back, Dylan Markley on the wing. Great players for this level. That table's not very clear, is it? As we walk out with the King Power, I wonder how many people we got there today. It looks like pretty much a sellout. I mean, I adjusted it because it would reduce in real life, wouldn't it? Down to like, say, 20-odd thousand probably. But we still seem to be pulling 26-odd thousand for League Two, which is a credit to you as Leicester City fans. You want to stick behind your team when we got trouble. Right, where's the first highlight going to come in this one? We've had the first 2 shots of the game. We've completed 95% of our passes, which is encouraging. But just like us, Chesterfield have got danger. They've got individual quality as well. Especially people like Dobro's been around for a long time in the lower leagues. And talk of the man, there he is as he picks the ball up. They're trying to counter us here. Page is going to pick the ball up a halfway, though. Ali to come forward down the left. Plays it into Salech. Salech is a great physical presence for us, isn't he? Unbelievable. Because we really lacked a striker who had a heading ability as well. I was hoping it was going to be a Poku, but he just wasn't good enough and wasn't physical enough. Marcel's gone down in the area there looking for a penalty. The referee says no, and we're going to carry on. Grasikford plays it up to Suter now as we're trying to play back through them here. Page trying to play a nice ball out down to the left-hand side. Doncian does really well here. Maybe Chesterfield have got a chance to counter. Markanday's a very good winger. Suter there, crunching him in there and winning the ball high up. We've got to be quick, lads. Quick transition. Will Alves gets the strike away. and Hemming picks it up nice and easy. But nice little game we got going on here, and Leicester building into this with a bit of confidence. Here comes Marcel down to Page. Marcel again, Ali, Page again. Page with a chance from distance, perhaps. Louis Page puts it over the top of the crossbar. I don't think Louis Page has hit one of those on target all season. That's the one thing he is not very good at, and that would be the long shots, unfortunately. 1 minute added time. We're going in all square. Don't forget we lost last time out to Crew, but as that half got on, we got more and more XG. So, yeah, we've both only had one shot on target, though. XG for Chesterfield are 0.06. We simply have to be better in front of goal. I completely agree with that. Nice and simple advice there from my assistant manager, Andy King. And he's right. When you've got these chances, you just got to convert them, right? If you don't, you end up in situations like Crew, where if your goalkeeper's having a bad game, they'll nick it from you. Anyway, second half underway. We'll make some changes in a minute here and see if we can freshen things up, especially with the injury concerns hanging over certain players and their fitness. Donson is going to come forward now over to Markanday, who comes inside. He's got a shot on him. Don't let him do it. Gordon, they're going to try and play it across here, Chesterfield, and they do, and the header's over the crossbar. You can see why they scored as many as we have, guys. They have got a dangerous, dangerous team. Shea Dunkley as well has played. And John Flex in their centre mid as well. Like, you're looking at a championship team here in League Two, aren't you, with this lot? Right, Will Alves is having a bad game here, so I think Will Alves can come off, and we're going to make a change. And I'm going to probably go with Chris Popoff controversy and put him on the left. Marcel can play an attacking mid as well, so we'll go with that. Louis Page has not had a good game, so I'll get Louis Page off here for Toby Onayeni, and I think that'll be our first two changes here. As we press on here, demand some more of the team and see if we can turn this point at the moment into some more. Monga's having a bad game as well and looking tired. So let's get Monga off here. And I think that's going to be for Anthony Knockhart. Third change. Could this be a washout? Could it be a 0-0 draw, which means that everything is exactly the same as before we started this fixture? This reminds me of that game we had against Leeds in the Championship where Howard scored in the last minute, right? Similar vibes to this one. Top versus top. Knockout into the near post. Salic has gone down again. Referee's not giving any penalties today. So here comes Ali now. We're going to have to do it the hard way, guys. We're going to have to try and score in their net. And here comes Mandeville on the counter. Darcy on the counter as well. He's got space. And Bonis has scored for Chesterfield, guys. Oh, we were caught napping. We were so high up the pitch trying to score a goal, and we have got ourselves in trouble now, guys. 5 minutes left. Going to encourage them. Is there anything left, or are we going to lose at home to Chesterfield? This is going to be back-to-back defeats to start the episode in the league. Daley Campbell, ex-Leicester, is going to play it in. We must have a chance on the counter. 4 minutes of added time. Aluko, Marcel, Braber. Got to go forward, guys. Got to go forward. And no, we're doing what Leicester do in real life. We're going back. Guys, get up the pitch. Onayeni, nice flick onto Popov. Popov into Salic, and he's put it wide. Too many chances missed. Meeks, no points in this one. We lose to Chesterfield. Oh, my word. Throw water bottle. I'm really not happy. I've upset them and they lack belief, but my God, I'm angry with that. We literally had them there in the palm of our hand. We just needed to crush them, and we failed to crush them, and then they just jabbed us and down we went, right? Hideous stuff, guys. Hideous stuff. But there we go. Means Chesterfield move above us, and we have an identical record now as we're getting towards the halfway point of the season. That's 20 games in the book, and we're neck and neck with Chesterfield in first place. And we're very disappointed to be knocked off a top spot there with that, understandably. Right, Barrow away will be the next one we get to, guys. Right. Let's allocate our ESC place to our new backup goalkeeper. And our new backup goalkeeper, guys, welcome him to Leicester City. Barry Lawyers. He was an ex-youngster at Voldenham. We're going to accept, and I'll take you through the deal of this one. So he's a good League One player, fringe player who can improve, 24 years old. Let's have a look at his stats here a minute. Go to his attributes, and he's solid. He's solid everywhere, look. I mean, the only thing he's not good at is his first touch and his eccentricity. But everything else is like over 10, right? Including his physicals, his pace and acceleration is good, his aerial reach is good, his one-on-ones are decent enough, his decision-making is 15 out of 20. All these things I like. And I think he's on a £1,000 a week on a 5-year deal. which seems a remarkable bit of business. Only £1,000 with 1.4% of the club's entire wage, but it's a 5-year deal. He gets paid a few bonuses for appearances and clean sheets and all the rest of it. But I think this guy for us is a long-term backup investment for our goalkeeping positions, right? And having him in means we can also now consider what is going to happen in January with obviously French and Bowser. Let's get Suter to welcome him to the football club and say, well done, mate, you're part of the group. And Barry Lawyers, welcome to the bench. He might even, to be fair, if we compare him a minute to where's miss compare interaction. Oh, I've forgotten how to do it. Give me 1 second. I'll do it this way. Comparison. Let's compare him with Grazic. As you can see, Grazic has got better shot stopping, better physicality, and better speed, but the rest of it is very similar. So I think we've definitely got our better backup keeper option now. And I think that means the goalkeeping positions are sus. If Grazic has a bad run of form again, we've now got someone we can chuck in there, right? So I think that's the first bit of business done, and it's not even January. And don't forget, guys, hit the like on the channel. Make sure you subscribe, because next time out, which will be after Christmas, we'll have a week off next week. When we get back to it, we'll be getting into January. We'll be getting into seeing who are going to be the first lot of academy players I move out from the club, who I sell and go, this is the best we're going to get from you guys. Names like Silko Thomas, names like Brandon Cover. They're currently in that position, right? So I'm going to add this guy to my shortlist, Joe Newell. I recognise his name. And we got the scouts out there doing all the work. Right, Leicester Youth Intake preview. This is exciting. So, at the start of this season, I hired a new head of youth recruitment. And I went Dutch. I went very Dutch. I went double Dutch, in fact. I went through an ex-head, I believe it was of Heerenveen or somewhere like that. But he's come in, 60 years old. He's got a great knowledge of Europe. And this is what he reckons our youth team is looking like this year. Look at these numbers. Right. So we're no good attacking mids coming through, no good defensive mids, no good wide midfielders, and no good fullbacks. However, central midfield, centre backs, we got B quality players coming in, apparently. So they might even be ready to go into the first team straight off joining the youth academy. This is the excitement of it. And then goalkeepers, wingers, strikers, and wing backs, all at A rating. This is what you need. When you've got Seagrave, you've got to be able to bring the players through the academy. It was important to me to make sure I brought in that head of youth recruitment for this team who was going to be able to get those players. Loan offer made for Logan Briggs. He is staying where he is, guys. He's actually going to go back into the first team. Now I've forgiven him for asking me for more money. And Monga has got a cold, so we're going to send him home for a few days here as well. He's timed it wrong, so it's not quite Christmas yet, but there we go. And we'll keep skipping forward here. So we got the first signing done before January, which is unbelievable, right? So that's a good one to have in the books for us. And then we could start looking elsewhere. After this game, we'll have a quick look at the team together, and we'll quickly talk through what our first thoughts are for January. Like literally, we'll get ourselves ahead of the game. I've said I want to be proactive with this, which is why I've gone for the goalkeeper early, right? And unfortunately, the injuries might keep coming because Aluko is out for 2 to 3 weeks with pulled knee ligaments, which is a shame. But we are overusing him at 16, perhaps, And he's not actually that great statistically, but he's one of those that outperforms his statistics quite majorly, And of course, the stats in Football Manager are only really a loose guide, So sometimes players play beyond them. Sometimes they play worse than them. I mean, we got Jake Evans here, who's got 2 out of 20 finishing, but he scored the most wonderful goal you've ever seen for me against Tottenham under 21s. And there's some interesting news that has just popped up. Leicester set to lose Grazic because of release clause. Yes, he does have a release clause. I couldn't get him to sign the deal without it. It's 825,000, so it's nearly £1 million. Apparently, there is some interest in him as well, although it's not showing me who. So hopefully, bear in mind that release clause expires at the end of the January transfer window in 2 years. Oh, 2 years. Okay. So there's a 2-year release clause, which basically means that when I get to the end of this season, I think I'll be offering him a new contract to get rid of that, right? So there we go. But interesting. This is the problem when you're doing well. Your players are going to get attention, right? And I think my January transfer window is going to be also involving thought processes around Hatsuta, Marcel, and Alves, because there's going to be interest in Alves. There'll probably be interest in Suter because he shouldn't be playing at League Two level, and Marcel's going to have some interest again as well, right? So anyway, reject this loan offer for Logan Briggs. He is sticking around with the first team because he's got some minutes coming his way in a minute. And let's get to this game today against Barrow. Where are Barrow in the league at the moment? 18th, which is good. What tactics do they play? Let's have a look. Okay, they play basically a 3-4-2-1, like a Christmas tree, right? So they used to call it the Christmas tree formation back in the day. I'm not sure that's still terminology we use or not, but I remember calling it the Christmas tree, oddly. Right, make some changes here because we've got some injuries. So Barra's going to have to come in at right back for Aluko, but Barra has been just as good as he has, to be fair. Monga's at home with his cold, so there's no Monga today, which is a bit of an inconvenience for us. So I think that means it's got to be Knockhart who comes in. Although Knockhart, to be fair, wants to see the players develop a bit more, because if he doesn't, if you look at the morale, it's starting to drop a bit here. Look, you see it's gone orange. Knockhart wants to see more because he's sort of being the ringleader behind the scenes, right, of the entire group. So interesting. Logan Briggs can come back on the bench today. I've nearly forgiven him for kicking off about more money. And it means now Evans, Monga and Aluko are the main guys out. Golding and Apoku are still on the verge as well. Right, to the team selection then. Let's get this submitted in. We've got a new backup goalkeeper. We need to give a squad number to. I've given away a lot of the goalkeeper numbers here, haven't I? Because we've got 13 done, 1, 31, number 41, like Jacob used to be, right? So Lawyers takes the number 41 shirt, which is synonymous with Leicester City and goalkeepers. And here we go against Barrow. Let's look at their team. So they've got Rickham Harper, who used to be at West Brom many, many moons ago, and was quite a prospect for them. And Christian Hegley's not a bad goalkeeper as well. He was an Aston Villa or West Ham youngster. He was definitely in claret and blue or some description. But right, I think we just show everyone this praise is justified, lads. We're going to be playing in our yellow kit today. And here we go. Right, so far in the league tonight, we've lost and we've lost. We've had 2 defeats in a row after a 15-game unbeaten spell. So we need to get back to winning ways tonight. Otherwise, we've got to look at the tactics and go, okay, where is this going wrong? Because the idea is we're dominating the ball and we're trying to keep possession and we're trying to use our skill and trickery to get these goals. If we're not getting those goals, that's where it becomes problematic, right? Anyway, we get underway here. Away at Barrow. I'm not sure anyone's ever been to Barrow Stadium. I mean, I can't say I've been in it. I've seen the outside of it. Definitely a classic football ground. One of those that's definitely got the stains of 100 years of history, which is what you want in football nowadays, really. I mean, it's gone a bit mad, hasn't it, all these brand new stadiums. Here comes Knockhart here early. Knockhart from distance goes close to a wonder goal. And we need someone like Anthony Knockhart to take the, accountability in this team. Who are the leaders amongst these youngsters? That's why I brought Tony Knockhart in on the free deal, because I wanted to bring back a Leicester legend to have that feeling of what the club was about, to lift these players around him to the level, right? And so far, he's just been a little bit disruptive, really. He's just been a little bit like, well, I'm Mr. Big Bollocks, So, yeah. Interesting. Going to get through the half time here. We got 8 shots, 4 on target, none for Barrow, but we haven't found the back of the net, and that's been the problem the last few games. Dominating all of the game, but failing to put the ball in between the posts. Salic, though, saying that from distance, 13th for the season. Instinctive turning, swiping finish past the goalkeeper there. And we'll take that. Barrow 0, Leicester City 1. Come on, guys. We want to get this comfortable here, up to like 2-0 or something. 2-0 is not really comfortable for Leicester, is it? Because we've drawn games from 2-0 up this season with me in charge. Page up to Marcel here. Marcel's going to come inside. We're using those legs. Run at the teams, guys. Knock up back to Marcel. What a goal! I think that is goal of the season, guys. Because not only was the assist utterly sublime, it was a first touch finish into the bottom corner. And I must put my replays back on. I turned them off because actually they were doing that horrible thing where they were freezing the game. But anyway, Grazic there picks the ball up and down to Musonda. We might have a chance on the counter here to go 3-0 up before half time. Alves comes forward now. Back to Ali. Page is going to lose the ball here. Page hasn't developed. Page is funny because he gives the ball up, but he does win it back quite a lot as well. He's sort of a bit of a. He's sort of both. He doesn't retain possession. Salic is in again here, guys, and it's going to be another one. Salic, 14 this season. Sign him up. Sign him up. We say we shouldn't fall in love with a lone player, right? It's hard not to fall in love with a lone player like that who's got you 14 goals. He didn't even start the season. We were 4 or 5 games in before he came in the door. 3-0 at half time. Right, excellent work, guys. I'm going to say it's important not to let... It's important to stay focused. Don't allow complacency to creep in. Well said. Nate, I've always played FIFA Manager mode, but you're making me want to play Football Manager now. Mate, I'm playing 24, to be honest with you, Nate, because 26 has got so many problems with it. And I've had problems with the graphical glitching on this, which I know is down to me from the screen, right? But on 26, it crashes at everything. It's got a really bad reputation. So I would say if you want to pick up 24 for cheaper, you can actually get all the season updates for this season just on like Steam or whatever what other ones they are, Epic Games. They're all on there for you to download, mate. So, but I find it much more fun because FIFA Manager is good, but you kind of feel like you're too much in control of it. This one's like the players have got to act to how you set the game up, and from there it's on you. I mean, I've set them up basically to play Enzo ball, and it's caught me out in the first couple of games, right? But I'm sticking to my guns like Enzo. SFE, good evening to you, mate. How are you? Nice to see you, mate. Nearly Christmas, isn't it, bud? Who'd have thought it? Half time here, 3-0. Might be the time to do what I haven't done for a while, and we'll change to our backup formation, which is to do with retaining possession and resting legs, because we're trying to be careful with our Marçals, with our with Alves's, because they have got injury problems, right? So I'm going to make this change now. We're going to get Vermouth on in the middle there for Will Alves to go into a back three, and just see if we can shut this game down now. Mercer Ali's looking quite tired at left back, but I haven't got another left back on the bench, so I'm not going to mess around with that too much. I'm going to leave that. Knockout, Marçal, Salic. Salic is going to have a hat-trick today, so we might as well leave him in for the moment. Do you know what? I'm going to get Knockout off for Briggs. Let's get Briggs on here. And I think the next change will probably be Cartwright for Louis Page. But there we go. Let's see. Nate, I'll check it out. Thanks. Yeah, have a look, mate. It might be quite cheap. It might be quite cheap. I can't guarantee what you get it for, but it's funny. I know for me, I've got both, and I can't get into 26 at all. I find it really hard to get into. It's such a departure. But if you're used to FIFA Manager, you might prefer 26. Go check out some of the YouTube videos at some point, mate, as well. Ball across, and there's a goal back from Barrow here. This idea of changing the formation and parking the bus has left the fire exit open. It is Barrow 1, Leicester 3. Oh, no. Oh, don't do this to me, guys. It's all to save some legs this and just reduce the intensity of the formation and just go, guys, we're free up. Now we just got to hold things tight. Just hold it all tight. Right, 75 minutes. Let's get Louis Page off because he's had worries about his fitness. We'll get him off here for Henry Cartwright, who has been our utility man at centre-back or centre-mid. Obviously, currently in real life, he's on loan at Falkirk and scored a wonder goal in the season against Rangers, wasn't it? I think the first game of the season. We seem to have Leicester players out on loan like him and Braybrook, especially centre-mid scoring wonder goals. And it looks like the second half is going to be won by Barrow by 1-0, but the 3 goals in the first half are going to do it. We've got one more highlight here as we hit the 90 minutes, guys. Musonda up to Ali. Ali's going to come forward. He went diving in there 2-footed, didn't he? And luckily the player didn't go down, or there might have been a problem. Here comes a Whitfield. Here comes Earring. What a name for a player, Earring. He's probably Dutch or something, and I'm saying his name wrong. Earring. No, it's Jack Earring. What a name. I guess his dad used to make earrings, or his family history was to make earrings. Wonderful. 3-1 win, guys. We're back to winning ways. Thank God for that. 2 defeats in a row after going 15 unbeaten isn't a fun place to be. Nice work, everyone. We'll take that. And I think we saved the legs second half as well. Happy days. Puts us back top of the league with that game in hand. But look at this league table, everyone. We're going to have a quick look at this a bit closer, actually. If I quickly go up here and get to the proper league table. So look at this. So we've got the game in hand because we keep getting international call-ups. So I'm not going to play without Marçal, and players like this if I can help it, because they're just too good. As soon as they're out of the team, look what happens. We go and lose to Crew, who are 21st. So yeah, we've now played 21, won 14, drawn 4, lost 3. But then look, 46 points. MK Dons, 46 points. Colchester, 45 points. And Chesterfield, who we just lost to, 43 points. So they got the same games as us, and the other two have played one more. This is going to be very interesting. We've got Walsall away next in midweek, which is a disaster for us because obviously we want to be resting our legs a little bit as well along the way. So we're going to have to rotate for this one. This will be our last game of the night, guys. We're trying to keep it about an hour to an hour and 15 because otherwise it goes on a bit too long, we find. So we'll make this the last game. But before we get into this game, I'm going to look through the team and obviously rotate them. And we're going to talk to you about plans and initial thoughts for this January transfer window that's just around the corner. As ironically, we're going to be ending up probably on the same day we are in real life, the 21st of December, which is bizarre bit of the Matrix matching up, right? Swindon have appointed Steve Cottrell as their new manager in other League Two news. We've had 4 sackings in League Two already, guys. But when you see down the bottom, teams like Tranmere, Oldham, Crewe, Shrewsbury, Gillingham. I mean, Shrewsbury came down from League One last year, so that's crazy, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at this team now. So we're literally a couple of weeks away from January. I might even start offering these players out now with you all here. I think it's time to start moving some of these guys on. So, right, Barry Lawyers and Grazik. We are covered for goalkeeper, right? Hubert Grazik will be our number 1, ex-Arsenal Academy. And then Barry Lawyers, who has come in, he will be our number 2. Excellent work. All done, signed up, sealed and delivered. Stevie Bowser. For the minute, he can go to the under-21 to see if we can get some minutes, because I think it'll be him and French will be probably, one will be staying for the under-21s, the other one will be going, either sold or loaned. We'll make a decision on that. Right, centre-back. What do we think about centre-back? I think we've got an interesting situation here because we've got Musonda, we've got Suter, we've got Vermouth, we've got Cartwright and Amate. Those are our 5 centre-backs, really, right? I mean, Bobby Amate, I think, is going to develop. His tackling's 14, his mark is 12, his heading's 12. He is fine. His acceleration and pace could be a little bit better, but his pace is getting better. And the rest of his decision-making is good. I think Bobby can develop with us, so that's a good player for us to have and someone I want to give more minutes to do. Henry Cartwright is wanted by Portsmouth for a transfer. He's just signed a new deal with me. And he's funny, isn't he? Because he can play as a centre-back, but he also can play as a ball-winning midfielder. And his stats, his marking and tackling are slightly less, but he's averagely better across all of it. Look, you notice this? He's got like 8s, 9s, 10s. There's no like 2s or 3s in Henry's range here, right? So I think we're going to be fine with him. I think Suter's the interesting one here as well, because Suter, of course, really is too good for this league. He's not the quickest, but his heading, marking, tackling, determinate, all the stuff you look for in a centre-back are really top-notch, right? So, yeah, so I think Suter, unless someone comes in from him, I'm going to keep hold of him because I think in League One he will be the top-quality League One defender, right? So we'll keep hold of him as well. So I think centre-back we're looking pretty good as well. Right-back, Barrett and Aluko. I want to get a new right-back. And I know that's controversial, and it's nothing to do with how bad these guys are, because they're not that bad. Barra's been okay. He's actually developed a bit as well. His stats still aren't the best, but he's better than what he was. Aluko looks worse than what he is. But the problem I got is their fitness. Both of them struggle with their condition massively. They're the 2 players that get tired the most in my system. So I'm going to need to get a new right-back, guys, in January. And I think Barra or Aluko might go out on loan, just to cover that off, right? But I don't think I'll be selling either one of them yet. So I think right back, we're going to have to go for someone. Left back, I'm fine. I think Lindsay and Ali are going to be a fine tag team duo here. I mean, Lindsay's 19, Ali's 17, and they're both doing really well. Ali's performing amazing. He's done 21 appearances this year. I think he's got like 7 assists from left back. So I think left back we're well covered. Centre midfield's interesting because we've got Braybrook. We can play Cartwright there. Brandon Cover, I think we're going to sell. He can be worth up to £1 million as well. We probably won't get that, but I just don't think he's going to progress. And look at these stats. For all the things we want in the ball-winning midfielder, he has not got the good marking. He's not got the good tackling. The rest of it hasn't picked up, and he is turning 20. He's one of the older end of the scale when it comes to our young players, right? So I think Brandon Cover, we're going to offer you out now. I just transfer list him and offer him out and see if we get any interest for him. We'll find out in the next episode after Christmas, because obviously we're getting towards that January, right? So Brandon Cover will be offered out. Braybrook, Golding, Onayeni, Page. Happy with all 4 of them. I want one more, though. So we're going to have a right back and we're going to have a centre mid. This one might be a lone player coming in, or we're trying to approach someone to come in at the end of their contract at the end of the season, right? Right, attacking midfield right. We've got Knockhart. We've got Monga. And really, that's it. Jake Evans is actually playing attacking mid-right as well, but he's out injured. So it's okay. It's not a disaster, right? Apoku, when he's back fit, we're going to sell. He's not good enough, and he can't really play well on the right either. Silko Thomas. Silko Thomas is the one I'm completely 50-50 with, guys, because his stats aren't improving and his stats don't look good. The only thing he's got going for him is acceleration and pace. The rest of it is just chaos. It's Jeffrey Slupp Mark II, basically, is what we've ended up with on this game. So I'm going to see he could be worth up to £425,000. I think there'll be bids for him from League One. He'll probably do all right in League One as well. So we're going to hold fire on Silko, but Silko is on that line where he could go. Because if I want to maybe add a bit more quality to that right-hand side, I think he's the guy that's going to move out the way to do so, right? Him and Apoku. Right, left-hand side quickly, and then we'll get to this game. Popov, Marcel. Marcel, as long as there's no interest for him, we're going to be sorted because he is elite for this level. He is unbelievable. Although saying that, his stats don't look as good as you'd expect, but he is very good for this level. And then attacking mid-centre, Briggs. And then we obviously got Alves, Will Alves, who's the main one, but he's got the interest coming in from all the Premier League clubs. Logan Briggs only wanted on loan, but he's a good backup for that. Knockout can play there as well. So we might need an attacking mid-centre as well, guys. So I think we are going to be looking at maybe 3 or 4 players in January. That is what we have basically worked out from having a quick look through the team there. 3 or 4 in January. Definitely going to try and sell Brandon Cover here. Possibly 1 or 2 others. Poku's going to go. And then also striker. I didn't mention striker. We got Salic, and that's about it. Josh King's a good backup, but he's not really scored enough goals. And we have got in the under-21s as well, Lorenz Hutchinson, who's currently injured for 2 to 9 days, which is a shame because Lorenz is pretty good. And he's getting better look as well. You see all these green arrows, he's getting a lot better. And his finishing and heading's very good. It's just his pace I've got a problem with. 8 and 7 out of 20. If he was a bit quicker, I think he'd be in the first team now, right? But right, let's get to the final game of tonight. Let's get to this Walsall game and see how we get on with this one. It's going to be a very, very tricky game, this, because Walsall are towards the top of the league, I believe, as well. So we're going to go with Barra tonight. I'm going to have to slightly rotate as well, probably, because there's a high risk of injury to certain players. Yeah, as you can see. Interesting. Right, okay, but I'm going to probably have to slightly rotate, but I'm going to have to go with Suter. I can't not pick Suter, and I can rotate him off. I'll go for Marty today because I want to give him some extra minutes. Ultimately, it is a squad game. I know people go, well, you want to stick with the same 11. We're playing so many games this year, it's got to be a squad game, you know? It really does. Mercer Ali's looking like he could get injured, so we'll give Jamal Lindsay a run out today. Obviously, if anyone like Lindsay puts in some really dodgy performances from now till January, then we will just probably move them on as well, to be honest. But we'll see how that goes. Braybrook can go in alongside Louis Page today. I will keep with the main 2 engines because I do like keeping that as similar as possible. Monga is back from his cold, so he can go back in. Will Alves. Marcel's not looking particularly fit, so I'll go for Chris Popov today, who's actually done very well coming in. I think he's already got 2 goals off the bench from left-hand side, which is incredible. And Salic will start despite his lack of fitness, and we'll be careful with him. Ultimately, if I break him, I could send him back to Cardiff and go find someone else, couldn't I? But, you know, it's a bit mean, I suppose, sending him back someone who's completely broken. Right, Masonda on the bench, Vermouth on the bench, Cartwright. No, I won't go for Cartwright. I'll go for Ali on the bench. Silko Thomas, Knockout. Marcel can have a rest for this one. And Josh King. And let's get to it, guys. Right, Walsall away at the Bescot. They're in 7th. Well, it's now called the Poundland Stadium in real life, isn't it? At least we're not sponsored by Poundland. We weren't sponsored by Topps Tiles. Do you remember that? Those dark days. I joked that was a League One shirt we were wearing. We got relegated to League One that year. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah, you talk about it. Right. If you carry your last performance into this match, I will think you'll do well. I have faith in you guys. Let's get to it. And who have they got out there? They've got some good players here. George Friend. True story. George Friend's from my hometown. My parents know his parents. Funny story. He's my age as well. Yeah. He was Bristol Rovers director of football, wasn't he? There was a rumour he was coming to Leicester, but I couldn't find any gossip about it. Right, let's get to this. Walsall, Leicester. A big game to finish up on tonight. Because if we lose this going into the Christmas break, that's going to leave a big question mark over this. Walsall playing 5-2-1-2 as well. A very different formation here. Let's hope with our changes, especially with a whole new left-hand side here with Lindsay and Popov, that we can actually do something. Barrow down to Monga here now. Monga's the danger man. Nice ball across. Popov does really well and hits the crossbar, guys. Header off the crossbar. Unfortunately, stays out for us. But that's a nice start here. Nice indication of the danger we're going to possess here at Walsall. Carnu do to Gordon now. Barra's gone in two-footed, but luckily he's won the ball. That's the problem with the youngsters. They're very, very much full of youthful exuberance, but a lot of two-footed challenges go flying in along the way. You're thinking we're due a red card in a minute, right? Walsall retaining possession well here. Monga tracking back, which is not happening in real life, so well done to him. Hancock forward to Warrington. Back to Hancock here. Harper trying to play through. We've got players around, but no one's making the tackle, and Harper's going to find some space and cross it in. Carnu has scored for Walsall. The referee is flagging, sorry, the linesman, and it is offside. No need for VAR there. It was obvious. Braybrook with a corner into the near post now. Alves is going to pick it up. He's got a knock, and he's going to flick it to the back post and pop off again, looking dangerous, guys. Will Alves has got a knock here. We can't see what it is, but I might bring him off pretty sharpish because I can't really risk losing him. The problem is we're nowhere near as effective with him not in the team, you know. So Salic has got through two of them, and how's he missed? I was literally waiting to scream he'd scored then. Every other time Salic gets played through like that, he finds the back of the net, he finds that bottom corner. But unfortunately not this time. Barra comes forward now, using these fullbacks to completely overlap and create some width in this team. Tries to play it into the middle. Luckily, we're going to pick it up with Marty here, who tries to stay Popov in. Walsall doing a good job of breaking up our attacks so far. We're struggling with the ball at our feet, and Carnu's going to pick up on the bouncing ball. Warrington down to Finnegan. Carnu's in again. Is that one offside? Yes, it is. That's twice Carnu's been offside, and we'll take it. Oh, my word. Making things nice and difficult for us here. Time is ticking. Will Alves is still holding on here, and he doesn't look like he's got anything major going on. So we'll get into half-time before we take Will Alves off. Suter plays it forward. Friend now picks it up. It'll be Sod's Law to get a counter slap hit from Walsall. Good save, one-on-one from Grazic. Had to make himself big there. Had to make himself wide and just literally got his shoulder to deny the Walsall attack. Walsall looking much more dangerous than us in this game. Game on here. Warrington now trying to link up with Hunt. Oh, and it's flicked over the top from Finnegan. I called him Hurt because I misread the N as an R, but it's like Hunt can really hurt us here. That's what I should have said. Gordon comes forward now. Suter's giving it away, and oh, luckily for us, he shot really wide there. It was almost like he was surprised he had the ball at his feet. It was a game of pass the parcel where he wasn't expecting the parcel, and he fired it wide. No shots on target for us as we get towards half-time, guys. Braybrook's going to take this one. Lays it off to Alves. We need to do better here. Monga's got in. Monga's done really well, but unfortunately the keeper saved it. Braybrook again. Bouillon punches it clear. This is a tight game, guys. Literally, it's like a boxing match. One gets a jab in, one comes back, another gets a jab in. Look at this XG. We were solid, and then all of a sudden, Walsall woke up towards the end of that first half, didn't they? And now we got a bit of pressure on us here. That's not good enough. We've got to do better, guys. Let's get a bit angry. And unfortunately, Will Alves is going to have to come off, isn't he? Alves off for knock-up. I definitely need another attacking mid-centre if I haven't got Briggs on the bench, don't I? Because Knockout, I mean, he can play here, but he's not as effective here. Let's be frank, he's not. Anyone else you want to do? I think actually Suter's played badly. Let's get Musonda on for this, because I think it will actually solidify our defence a bit more as well. I think the lack of fitness for Suter's becoming a bit of a problem as well. We'll have to have a look at medical staff when we get through January as well. Right. Come on, guys. Demand some more. I'm out on the sidelines now going, come on, do football things. Kick the ball to each other, pass it to each other. Come on. Half an hour. Come on, half an hour to turn this one around. Monga's in the book here. He's on a 6.1, and it's a near post header from Priestley Farcrazian, if I'm saying it correctly. Oh, and it's Walsall 1, Leicester 0. Hello. Silko Thomas can come on here for Monga, because Monga's having a mare of a game out there since he missed that opportunity. His head's completely dropped. Come on, guys, let's get this level. Braybrook's going to have a free kick now. Plays it in towards the back post. It bounces around and we couldn't get it in. My assistant manager shouting at me, who's come on? I don't care. I just want to see the highlights. 20 minutes to go here. Leicester behind. We could end up with 3 defeats out of 4 here, which would really be rocking the foundation of our ship and once again make us rethink our January plans, perhaps. Barra comes back to Masonda here. I'm hoping the system was what was going to make the difference, but the system seems to be cracking under the pressure. Page comes forward now, across to Salic, number 15 already, and it's been disallowed, referee. Just because he was offside doesn't mean you have to give us offside. Oh, what are you doing, ref? He gave Kanu offside twice, and so he's thinking, well, I better give him offside. I've given it. He was offside. I'm not sure if Salic was there. Lindsay's going to pick the ball up here now. We've got to get moving here with 20 minutes to go. Braybrook up to Silko Thomas. Down to Page. Popov through to Salic. Does really well. Unfortunately, the defender shielded him well there, and the goalkeeper made the save at the end. Short corner on here for Knockhart. Plays it down to Braybrook. Knockhart again coming inside. Plays it back, and we're going to lose the highlight there with 15 minutes to go, guys. Getting towards difficult times now. Salic is actually not having a great game, so let's bring Josh King on here for the final 10 minutes. Come on, guys. 10 minutes to get ourselves a draw here. Evening, Prashant. How are you, bud? 2 minutes. Added time to come. 5 minutes of it. Come on, Leicester. Can we get an equaliser, or are we going to lose this one? Guys, we've lost again. Walsall 1, Leicester 0. Oh, we go away for the Christmas break thinking, look at these shots. 14 to Leicester, 3 on target. 9 to Walsall, 3 on target for them. You've got to say we had most of that. I'm really not happy. We should have won that match. I'm not going to tell them off any more than that. It's frustrating, isn't it? Still keeps us top of the league, but we are starting to eat into that advantage we had because, look, 46, 46, 46. Difficult times. Difficult times indeed. Well, Alves, luckily it was a tight Achilles. We took him off before it became a full-blown Achilles problem, which would have been a disaster, right? But makes things very difficult for us with these little injuries coming as well. And the squad depth isn't quite where we want it to be. But, of course, I have got on the under-21 some other players we can look at as well. I can promote, say, you know, Riley Carr or Lorenz Hutchison, Tristan Thomas, Adedeji, Will Daniels. There is the option there, but... Right, difficult one, this one, wasn't it, guys? Let's get to the league table. Yeah, so now in this episode, we lost to Walsall, lost to Chesterfield, and lost to Crewe. Only 1-0, 1-0, and 2-0, so tight games. And in those games, we had opportunities, we just didn't take them. And unfortunately, it's put us in a position where we had a nice little buffer of a couple of games and 3 points over the opposition. But getting to the end of this week's episode, we are leaving off for Christmas on a crazy note where we're now... We've got a game advantage, but 46 points, 46, 46, 43. We need automatic promotion. I actually need to win this league. Otherwise, they're going to be giving me the chop. So I'll be intrigued to see C+ on how the board think I'm doing. I think we definitely need to spend some of this money I've been hiding away in January, don't we? We've still got other clauses we can get from George Hurst as well, would you believe it? But anyway, that's what we'll get to next time. Let's get back into the schedule one more time, guys. So, yeah, a difficult episode tonight for us. So, we lost to Crewe, beat Stevenage, who are in League One, which is the bizarre thing about it, because we went full strength against them in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. Then lost at home to Chesterfield, which is a shame because I think that's our first loss of the season at home as well, which is always disappointing. Away win 3-1 at Barrow, and the way lost 1-0. So we either win 3-1 or lose 1-0 has been how tonight has gone. But when we're back next time, we'll be sorting out January because obviously we're getting to that point, 23rd of December. Grimsby, Tranmere, Newport, some league games coming up. We've got this game against Luton Town coming up in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy Southern section as well, which means we win this, we're down to the final 8 of the competition with all the League One teams division above us with a chance of winning a trophy Leicester's never won before. So we'll take that. We could come up with 2 trophies. So not a disaster, but still disappointing to have the board breathing down my neck a little bit. And I think that's where we want to look at. Look at that. King Power Stadium, lovely, isn't it? It's not the real one, but there we go. Yeah, so C+. improvement to be done, guys. But anyway, I want to thank you all very much for being along here for the episode tonight. We're going to have a break from next week because, of course, it's the Christmas period. So we'll be back the week afterwards, and then we'll be looking at, well, January transfers, like I said, and looking at can we keep Leicester going in the right direction, building with our beautiful little group of academy players we got here and beyond. So once again, guys, thank you all very much for being on here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out, tell all your friends and all that jazz, hype the video, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, have a very Merry Christmas, right? And we'll catch you right here on Leicester Till I Die on the next one, all right? So guys, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.